dismantle this 1960s Taoist hippie guru philosopher, Alan Watts. But that's not the point. It's to debunk and dismantle the quote ideas that are believed by many. That's the point. That's why I'm doing this. He's making another Alan Watts video exposing Alan Watts. It's not about Alan Watts. Alan Watts is deceased. He's gone. But there's millions that follow this shit, and there's millions of others that follow Eckhart Tolle, and ones that are basically like disciples of Alan Watts, you could say. All right? So anyway, to confront what he's saying here and address this, he's saying that it's just a thrill. The whole of the universe wants a thrill. It's just a thrill. It's just like going to the movies and you get scared by a movie. No, you're watching something happen. A movie's different. You pay for your ticket, or you pay for Netflix, whatever. You pay for something to watch, entertainment. You know that it's fiction. You know it's a movie. Unless it says documentary, then you know it's supposedly a documentary. But, just say fiction. You know it's a fictional movie. You know it's going to be over in, let's say, 90 minutes. And that's it. Or 60 minutes, or whatever the time is. 120 minutes. Whatever the time is. And that's it. You walk out of the theater, or you stop the Netflix, and it's over. Even if it scared you for a little time, or whatever the case may be. What about child abuse? You're not going through that saying, what a thrill this is. This is how warped these philosophies are. And I'm not just saying, oh, Alan Watts is warped. He's a dime a dozen. There's millions and millions and millions on this earth just like that fall for that shit. Millions. You could call them New Agers. You could call them whatever you want. I don't care what label you put on them. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. The mentality is what matters. That's what matters. The mindset. Been through child abuse. You're not saying I came here for a thrill. You don't get it. The ones that follow this shit. You don't get it. You don't see what others have been through. That's part of why you don't get it. And some people on my channel will say they didn't suffer, Stephen. Suffering's one thing. There's a lot in this realm. There's millions and millions that suffer and still don't see the truth of this realm. They don't see it. They suffered. They know they suffered. Some of them try to heal themselves. Some don't. Some of them repeat the abuse on others. But a lot of them don't see it. Do you notice that? It has to involve more than I've suffered, so therefore I see the truth. You have to see the suffering of others in this realm and care for others to get to this point. They're so fucking way off, man. They don't get it. And they don't give a fuck about the truth. They just care about themselves, materialism, what they can get. They're narcissistic. They're materialistic. They'll show off on vacation and put others down. They do all this kind of stuff. They show off with fancy cars, materialistic shit. It's all going to go away when their spirit, if they have one, leaves their body. I don't assume that everyone has one, but I also don't do the NPC thing where, oh, anyone who disagrees with me is just an NPC, like some of these quote truther channels do. So without violence and demons and abuse and all this stuff, it would be quote boring. That's their logic. That's the lefty mentality. And again, it goes way beyond Alan Watts. Way beyond that. You can observe people that would follow him and would love Alan Watts because they're just like this. Their mindset is the same. And they might as well be anchored right into this realm. Look at this. He truly was a genius. I mean, oh man. Fuck. Oh, I'm shaking my head. Oh God. They put him on a pedestal and just worship the living shit out of him. They're worshiping someone that is brainwashing them.
And the whole of the universe wants a thrill. That's what it's all about. Otherwise it would be boring. But when you go to the movie, you know in your heart of hearts that it's only a movie. And yet you contrive to some degree to forget this while you're there. And therefore get scared and feel real creeps.
You know who loves the movies the most? And in a lot of ways, the sheep. Because they will do anything to avoid looking at reality. They will do anything to avoid looking at evil, to escape from it, to dodge it, to turn their head away, to take a blanket and put it over their face and not look and look away. And that's what it's about. And that's what Hollywood's about. They love, it's not just escapism, but it's just like, and it's also mind control, obviously. Hollywood is huge with mind control. But it's just a means of saying, you know what? You really don't have to face reality of where you are. You can just get lost in this. Not just for an hour or two, but every week. Come here every week, at least once, twice, 3 times a week. Get addicted to this shit. And just, don't live in reality. Live in Hollywood land. Which is sick. It's full of pedos and demons. And ritual sacrifice and just darkness. Toxic things I can't even say here is what goes on in Hollywood. And that's what you're going to for your, quote, entertainment. Go get programmed. And get degraded spiritually. And have your morals just mind fucked right out of you. You know why you defend it, some of you? Because you have nothing else. You can't think of anything else to do. You're addicted to Hollywood. That's why you won't confront the truth of what it is. A lot of you have watched these types of videos, Alan Watts, for years without a critical mind, and you just thought it was wonderful. So my whole point here to do this, jumping in and giving my analysis, is to fucking break you free from the mind control. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not giving you a nice presentation, as they all say, like a sales pitch. I don't do presentations. I analyze this shit, and I show you what they're doing to help you break free from it. Because they have your minds in chains. The CIA is aware of this. Alan Watts was part of that. He was part of mind controlling the masses. And that's why they love him. They love him so much. They couldn't build the pedestals high enough and call him a genius enough. And then people get angry at guys like me, which are rare. And I'm not hyping myself up, but I don't see videos, dismantling and exposing Alan Watts and these types of characters. Where are the videos doing that? Where are the people doing what I'm doing? Where are they? Show me. But anyway, people get angry at people like me because I'm dismantling your frauds, your heroes that are fakes. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing you what they are. People don't like that. They'd rather have fake heroes than have the truth. They'd rather have false idols than have the truth. I'm knocking the pedestals down with your fake ass idols on them. You don't like it. Gotta jump in. Of course, they showed the globe imagery. They also show fake space, as usual with these videos. That's what they always do, with Alan Watts and with others. But I'm not telling you to be afraid. But did the samurai know about reincarnation and how to get out of here? Did a lot of these warriors that studied this stuff think, well, it's just an illusion, just a show, and once I, quote, die, I'll just be in, quote, heaven and have bliss? The problem is, no, you won't be. No, you won't be. You'll just get mind wiped and recycled back here endlessly, which is hell. So that makes this hell rather than just a, quote, illusion. Is this a fake place? Yes. But is it hell? Yes. So some of you are just, what? It's both? I mean, it's an illusion. It's a fake realm, but it's also hell? It's also a hell realm? Yeah. Yeah. Because, if you watched a Twilight Zone episode long ago when you were younger, black and white, and it was showing somebody getting mind wiped and endlessly recycled over and over and over again and going through trauma and suffering and abuse and everything, pain and illness, disease, grief, loss of loved ones, everything we go through here, you'd say, damn, that's hell. That episode, well, that's what you're going through. You might have a decent life this time, but you're playing roulette. You don't know what will happen the next time. So it might be important to get the fuck out of here. It might not be what Alan Watts preaches that, just don't worry about it, right? No? When you die, it's just bliss. Really? Because it sure doesn't seem that way, based on the evidence. Why does the Alan Watts rhetoric work? Because a lot of people have wishful thinking. It sounds good. It sounds nice, just like Christianity. Some of you are vigorously shaking your heads. Christianity doesn't sound nice, blah, blah, blah. Well, it preaches heaven. It doesn't preach about, you're going to get reincarnated endlessly. You're going to get mind wiped. You're going to get tricked. It preaches, you're going to be forgiven for your sins. Just believe on Jesus. Not even believe on Jesus. And all your sins are going to be forgiven, and accept him as your savior, as your redeemer, as though someone else can pay for what you did. If you commit a crime, can I go to prison and serve your sentence for you and pay for what you did? It doesn't work that way. It's illogical. It's illogical. The whole thing is original sin makes no sense. And if it was true, it'd be one of the most immoral things ever. For babies to have the mark of sin on them, to be paying for what their great grandmothers and grandfathers did. I mean, it's the biggest bullshit ever. Ever. It would be one of the most immoral things ever to make an innocent baby pay for what they haven't done, for the, quote, sins of their fathers and mothers or grandfathers and grandmothers. Like, talk about bullshit. People buy this, though, because the promise, heaven's going to be wonderful. What people people don't love the truth. They love what sounds nice. What's music to their ears, what tickles their ears. That's what they love. And most people rage against the truth, and they rage against the messengers of truth. Why do you think they hate me so much? Not just the demons. Obviously, the demons do. They really hate me. Beyond what you know, beyond what I can show on YouTube, because I'd lose my channel if I put up what they've said and done, and the images they've sent me. I can't put it on here. What they've emailed to me, I can't put it on here. Okay? My channel would be gone, but that's what they do. You wouldn't believe it, but that's what they do. It's not just them, though. It's ordinary, brainwashed, fucking immoral people that are not quite demons that just hate me because I'm speaking the truth. They don't like that truth. They don't like that. They don't like it at all. I might as well be someone if holy water were going around just throwing holy water on them, and they're just writhing in pain and anger. That's what their faces look like angry Gingy. When he's making those angry faces that just crack me up because I love it. I love triggering those demons to make them angry. Then I know I'm really right on track. I'm on the right path when I'm making the demons fucking angry and hissing at me. He was literally hissing, and his tongue was flicking out like a lizard and everything else. I think he took that video down. He probably just made it private, though. I know what I'm doing. I make no apologies for speaking the truth. I'll only apologize when I'm doing wrong, when I've wronged someone, when I've harmed someone, when out of anger I've lashed out, let's say, in a moment of anger when I've said something that I really didn't mean. Anyway, most people rage against the truth, and they love those sweet little lies. They can't get enough. They're addicted. And that grounds them to this place. I think it really keeps you here. When you love the lies, I don't think you're getting out.
And you don't resist the experience of fear. You are truly beginning to master fear.
Oh, I bet he's mastered fear. Did Alan Watts have to end someone's life as a child to protect someone, or almost do that? What kind of situations was Alan Watts in life? Did he go without heat for a Canadian winter and basically almost freeze? Have to wear layers of clothing, layers of blankets, be wrapped up in a sleeping bag, indoors, but freezing, just freezing for months. Has he gone through that? Has he gone through that? He gone through some shit. Has he had people threatening his life? If you're going to preach mastering fear, you might have had to endure some things. It's almost akin to calling someone a master in martial arts, and they're a fraud. They're fake. They're one of those fakes from, let's say, the 1980s, those guys with the death blow touch and stuff like that, and all those frauds, the fake martial artists. And you got millions of people calling them masters in it. That's the masses. That's what they're like. That's what they're like. They're so gullible, so fucking gullible, and just, it's pathetic, man. But you can't teach them. You can try, but it's just banging your head against the wall. I'm going to jump in here. Who designed worry? Who designed humans to be capable of worrying? Who built that into the system? Who built that into brains, the central nervous system, the body? Who did that? Who built that into human minds, human consciousness? Who made a realm where it's possible for us to worry, or to have things to worry about? Like worried about not having enough to eat, not being able to pay your bills, not going homeless, stuff like that. Worry about a loved one that's sick and you don't want them to pass away. Worried about one of your pets. Who made that possible? Who made that part of this design, of this system, of this realm that we live in? Does he address that? Does your hero address that? I'm speaking right to the people. I'm going to try to bring some of them onto my channel. And I want you to post comments and let these people know, hey, he's done an analysis video, of Alan Watts. And magnificent. And he's actually stunned. Zach is actually stunned. Amazing. Who designed and created worry? Who made this realm where it's possible to worry and have things to worry about? Why does worry even exist? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. See, he blames the victims of worry. Get what I'm saying here? He blames the victims of worry. He doesn't address why worry exists here. Why should worry exist? Why should depression exist? Why should anxiety exist? Why should post-traumatic stress disorder exist? Okay? Why should all these mental illnesses exist? All these things that people suffer from, that the demons mock. Why should they exist? Think deeper. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. I don't care what you think of Alan Watts personally. It's beyond that. Think deeper. Alan Watts is going to teach you how to cook, so you got to peel the onion. Is he really teaching you about worry, though? Where did it come from? Where's the origin? Where's the genesis of worry? Why does worry exist here in this realm? What good is it? You know why some people are predisposed to worry? Because they've been abused as children. And that flight or fight response is not broken, but they had to walk on eggshells, and they went through so much trauma that they can't shut that off. It rewires your brain. Early childhood trauma. Does he address that? Of course not. He's a genius, though, as some of his commenters down here have said, right? You'll always find this on his videos. And you'll find that on, it's not just Alan Watts. Any guru, you'll see that. And some are thinking, sad guru, not just him. Eckhart Tolle doesn't call himself a guru, but that's what he is. And ones like that. Pak Chopra. The list goes on. You'll always see people calling them a genius. They're so brilliant, they're so genius, they're so amazing, so magnificent, they change their lives. They're telling you what you want to hear for the most part. They're not going to help you get the fuck out of here. So if you want to follow them, by all means do it. Notice he said Lord God, which puts the quote God as an authority figure, a lord. In other words, lording over you, above you, lording over you. Have you ever heard the term lording? Okay, so here we are on the Google, as Jan Levi's calls it. And believe me, I'm not being condescending here by doing this. I wanted to show you, so you don't forget to look it up yourself, because some might want to look it up. I'm just going to show this. Act in a superior and domineering manner towards someone. So when he says the Lord God, it's word magic. It's masterful speech. It's what Freemasons do, and it's not only Freemasons. They're not the only ones of the dark occultists. And when I say Freemasons, for the people that are new here, sorry for the people that are not new to this, but the ones that are new here, I'm not speaking about your grandfather. I'm not speaking about your grandfather that might have made it up to third degree of Freemasonry in some country hick lodge in Mississippi. And I'm not being mean, but when I'm talking about when it's some little small town lodge outside of town, or in a small town, or sometimes outside of a small village, because I've seen them, okay? Out in the middle of nowhere, out in the sticks. They have no power in Freemasonry, those places. They don't mean anything to Freemasons. I'm talking about the top level Freemasons. The big lodges, the black lodges, the main lodges and main temples in the old cities like the city of London, for example. And it's not just London, but I mean New York City, and there's many big ones in the United States, for example. But there's also tons of these tiny, small backwoods lodges where your granddaddy went there and knew nothing. He absolutely knew nothing about what he was a part of. He didn't know what Freemasonry was. Didn't have a clue. When you start to get a clue is at 33rd degree. That's when it begins, not when it ends. That's when it begins. That's an honorary degree. You can do all the rituals and rites and do everything and study, but they have to tell you, okay, we're making you an honorary 33rd degree Freemason. They choose you. Doesn't matter how much work you do, how many years you've been in it. Not everyone makes it to 33rd, and then it goes from there. But 32nd is the cutoff point. So they filter them out, and what they want evil. They want ones that are sociopaths, basically. So if you're 32nd degree and below, you don't know jack shit. You've been lied to all the way along. At every degree, every level, you've been told lies, you've been duped about what you're part of. You're unaware of what really goes on. You're a dupe. You're a dupe. I know I said it more than once. I'll say it again. I'll make it 3 times a charm. You're a dupe. Someone will accuse me. Hey, you said it 3 times. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and accuse me of that. Freaking idiots. I expose Freemasons more than just about anybody on here. Especially since I know what the fuck I'm talking about, since I researched it. So yeah, you're a dupe. Firemen that are Freemasons are dupes. They're tools. Cops that are Freemasons. Police. For the ones that don't know what cops means. Police are dupes. They're usually 3rd degree and lower. And they never go further. They never find out what they're part of. It's sort of like Scientologists that have been in it for years and they never get told about Xenu. They never got brought into that room and told that. And they don't have a clue what they're part of. That's how it works. It's a hierarchy. And they don't tell the new members, and they don't tell people that have been there for years what's really going on, what they're really involved with, and how it really works. He gets his audience laughing, and they're not thinking. They're in a state of not thinking. He gets his audience laughing, and they're not thinking. They're in a state of not thinking. So some people would say, do you mean critical thinking? All true thinking is critical. Oh, critical. Oh my goodness, that sounds negative. That sounds bad. Critical, to be critical. Well, all true thinking is critical. Sorry for people that don't understand what I'm talking about. I really am. Some do, and I almost feel like catering to the ones that do. I'm trying my best to kind of walk the tightrope in a way, or walk the line, you could say, where I'm making some fairly high level videos and content, but I also know there's going to be some new people here, newer to this stuff, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do, people. All true thinking is critical. And don't even bother asking me, what's your opinion? Do you know what an opinion is? It's nothing. It's the bottom of the fucking pyramid. It's in the muck. It doesn't require any research, any knowledge, any facts, any evidence to give an opinion. Is that what you really want me to give you? Why do you ask me that? What's your opinion on this? An opinion is fucking useless. Don't you want more than just an opinion? Any zombie on your street can give you a fucking opinion. Can you believe this shit? I'm sorry for jumping in so quick, but fuck's sakes. What the fuck? You don't know what to ask? As a child, I wanted to ask by the time I was 3-4 years old, God, why is there so much suffering here? Why do you allow children to starve? Why do you allow child abuse? Why do you have children born into families where one parent or both parents are narcissistic or abusive alcoholics, abusive drug users, neglect their children, don't feed their children are in dirty clothes that haven't been washed in a month, and they're in rags, and they're poor, and they're hungry? What is this place? Why do people say this place is so good? Why did you design it this way? Why did you design it for there to be starving children and children with leukemia and children with horrible diseases that deform them and do all sorts of fucked up things to them that are just torture? And they know that they're not going to live into adulthood. They're in a wheelchair. There was a kid 2 doors down from my house that didn't make it out of childhood, out of elementary school. He was in a wheelchair. And his arms were just so thin. He was just like, and he was always happy and friendly. I remember thinking as a kid, what is this place? Why is it designed this way? This makes no fucking sense. They say God's perfect. They teach us God is perfect in Catholic school. And I could see that it's not perfect because this creation is fucked. It's not perfect at all. It's far from it. And I see so many adults that can't even see what I saw as a child. They won't even look at that. They won't even question it. They won't think about it. They'll rage against me. And then people say, oh, Stephen, go easy. I put up with them my whole fucking life. Do you know how much abuse I've taken in my life? Not just verbal abuse, but all sorts. You don't get it. You don't understand. This is my last ditch effort. This is my, hey, I'm going to try one last time. I've tried many times before YouTube videos. I'm going to try to help some people out. You should see the sick shit that comes my way from doing this. And it has all along, but it's gotten worse. It's gotten intense from YouTube. It's worse than on Facebook and worse before Facebook. I've tried for decades to open eyes of others. So when I leave this realm, my final thought might be, I tried to help him out, did my best. It's not my fault. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's on you, but in reality, yeah, it pretty much is. The ones that don't get it, I've tried many ways, tried to help you through videos, through artwork, through comedy. I've used all different types of ways of getting the message across. It's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of creativity. It's you. It really is you. You have some spiritual, like you must have degraded maybe your spirit and your mind so much that you just can't, no truth can get in and you can't get it. Maybe you never will. Maybe you won't in this lifetime, but maybe it's beyond that. Maybe you never will. Maybe you'll stay here forever. Maybe you cannot. Maybe this is your home. Maybe Earth is your home and you're from here and you're meant to be here, meant to stay here. I'm not. Maybe you are. Maybe you are. That might be a sobering thought for some of you. Maybe you are. Because maybe some of us have tried more than you'll ever try to help me. And that's just the truth.
It's all unbelievable. It's amazing. I wonder at it. I marvel at it. It is a miracle that there is anything.
Sorry, but Alan Watts has been stuck on that. So many videos he mentions that. He just marvels at the fact that there's anything. He can't get beyond that. But does he ever talk about evil? Does he ever talk about how the realm is designed for suffering and designed to be ruled by evil? Nope. He sure doesn't marvel at that. Just got to jump in. One note I want to say, this is noteworthy. As another YouTuber says, the hippies. Why don't I like the hippies? Well, old hippies that lived through the 60s will tell you, hey, we changed the world, man. We changed the world. We brought peace and love. Well, where is it? I'm looking at the world. Where is it? Where did it all go? Did it evaporate after Woodstock or after, the big festivals that they had in California? There was quite a few. It wasn't just Woodstock. What happened? What happened, man? Where did it all go? Where did it all go? Because it was gone by the time I was going to school. I didn't go to school in the 60s, but I was in school in the 70s. It's gone. It's gone, man. Where was it? You changed the world? We'll say, we stopped the war. You didn't stop shit. You didn't influence the fucking government to do shit. How many died in Vietnam? I think it was over 60,000 American men as soldiers. Yeah, you really prevented a lot of death, right? Really? They pat themselves in the back. They've been patting themselves in the back since before 1969. It's just, you want to talk about remarkable. Imagine patting yourself in the back, pretending you had a great victory and you won for failure. Imagine patting yourself in the back for failure for decades. Talk about narcissistic. And that's the boomers. In case the young generation doesn't know what baby boomers are, I'm not a boomer just because I'm older than you. You've got it wrong on that. And that's, unfortunately, that's what I see with the younger generation a lot. They don't care about accuracy. They just say shit and make memes, and they don't care if it's true or not. Truth is really not the high priority. Like, okay, boomer, they'll call someone a boomer that's a Gen Xer. Generation X was raised by baby boomers. Most of our families started to be divorced and broken up. We were latchkey kids. We went home with a key, house key, to let ourselves in because there was no mom at home. Because feminism got all women out in the workforce. So instead of looking after their family and their children, they're out working a job. Well, they're making more money. No, they cut the wages in half. That's why it requires 2 incomes to have a family in most cities these days. Before, men, it was 1 income was enough to have a great middle class lifestyle, home, 2 cars, everything. 1 income. Can't do that now. Eventually, they'll be requiring 3 incomes. One of your children will have to work as a child. And they'll justify that, saying, well, that's just the times. Men don't make enough money, women will say. Men just don't make enough money. But they won't look back and say, wait, it used to be good, but feminism fucked everything up. They never look back to the source. They'll just say, men don't make enough money these days to raise a family on 1 income. I'm shaking my head because you just fall for so many fucking agendas, man. It's just incredible. I just want out of this realm. I see the agendas. I see that it can't be fixed. And I see what people follow. And people love the lies, and the truth just, it either enrages them, the truth, or it makes them sick. It makes them run to the bathroom to throw up because they hear the truth and it just makes them sick. They can't handle it. They love the lies, though. Men just don't make enough money. 1 income's just not enough to buy a house and raise a family. But why? Why did it used to be? They never look at that. Why did it used to be in the 1950s, the 40s, the 30s, before I was born? Why was it 1 income household where you could have a stay-at-home mom that looked after everything, not just cooking and cleaning, but ran the household, ran things, organized things, was actually valued? How much does a kid value their mom these days that's never around, that just pops a frozen dinner in the fucking microwave? That's the quote home-cooked meal if she doesn't order takeout from DoorDash. They never make homemade anything. I'm not just saying it's true. Go watch 1,000 fucking videos on YouTube showing that it's true, and you'll see the evidence. Do what I've already done to discover if what I'm saying is true or not. Go watch years worth of videos to see what's going on, to see if it's true. Then you'd be like, damn, yeah, it is true. So anyway, our culture was hijacked. So why is it very natural to be afraid? Why is that built into this realm or nature? Why is it natural to be afraid? Why is that the case? Because it was programmed into this realm. It was designed this way to be full of fear. And things that create fear, induce fear, cause fear, whatever way you want to put it, provoke you to fear. That's this realm. That's the design. It provokes fear. It says it's very natural. Is it really, though? Or is it just this realm? Is it just common in this realm? But is fear really very natural? Because maybe it isn't outside of this matrix. Maybe in another realm, fear is completely unnatural, or maybe it's unheard of. Maybe it doesn't exist somewhere else. Maybe you want to consider more possibilities. And I'm not just throwing things out there. I'm serious about this. You might want to consider other possibilities. You might want to consider that where you are right now here in this realm is not very natural. All of this may not be very, quote, natural, end quote. And that includes the nature lovers here that just worship nature. And I'm not saying to litter or pollute. I'm against all that. I don't like seeing trash. It disgusts me when I see a fucking coffee cup, Canada, Tim Hortons, out there on the hiking trail. It's sickening. Don't throw your trash places. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying it's not very natural. This whole realm seems artificial and fake. The more you look at it, you'll start to see it and be like, damn, this is fake. Just because you're on your journey of truth seeking and you're afraid or you get emotional or triggered by one of my videos, it does not give you the right to insult me, to attack me, to spew venom at me, to be toxic, to try to ruin my day, put me down, put my channel down. You don't get excuses just because you're, quote, waking up or you're on your journey. Because I didn't do that on my journey. When I was new, I didn't attack everyone that I came across years ago, decades ago. So I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Hope you got something out of it. I hope you think about this. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.